So hello and welcome back to my Scratch tutorials. Now when we left off last time, we were creating a character who is running away from an enemy, yeah? So we have got the controls on and we've got the enemy moving towards the player. So all that's done, but there's one problem. See, when the enemy touches the player, it doesn't do anything at all. It just stays there. It just stays there, but doesn't do anything at all. So we're in this video we're gonna create damage controls. All right. So how about we just jump right to it? So what we first need to do, I named this guy Billy instead of player. This guy Billy. You can name it whatever you want, but I just named him Billy. So what you want to do is that you want to create a variable. Now, I have a more in-depth video about variables on my other YouTube videos, but I am just gonna briefly talk about it. So let's create a new variable called damage. Okay, so let's create it for all these sprites. Click OK. Let's save this for now. Now, what we want to do when it starts, we want to set the damage to 0 because we don't want the player to have actually no, we're not going to do set damage yet. We need to create a new variable and call it lives. Alright. So set lives to whatever you want. It's going to set it to 10 first. Okay. So for this, we're going to over here, we're going to set damage to 2. Alright. So let's add something else inside here. So we want this player, to get hit by this, and when it gets hit by this, we want it to decrease lives by the damage rate. So we're going to put an if else statement. We're going to put a equal statement. Okay. So let's put a lives. Actually, no. If we're actually touching, sorry, we have to do this first. If we're touching the enemy, yeah. If we're touching the enemy, then we want this guy's lives to decrease. Alright, so as you can see over here, I set the damage to 2, yeah? So over here, I would want to do this. I would want to do change lives by damage. Okay? Actually, need to put this in negative then. Yeah, let's put it in -2. Okay? Let's put it in -2. So what this basically means is that when the damage is set to -2, if this character was to touch this red character, its lives would change by -2. So that means that its health would change by -2. I'm just naming this lives, you can name this health or anything else. I don't really mind. But I'm just saying, when you're touching the enemy, it's changing the lives by the damage. So this is a fairly simple code. So let's run this. Okay. So you see damage up there is -2. So let's see if we touch the red block, what happens. Okay, so there's something wrong over here. When we touch the red guy, it decreases damage by -2, which is great, which is what we want. But it's changing it too fast. So we need to do something with this. We need to wait. So when you wait, it's going to change by -2, not that fast, not going to change directly by -2. Okay? So let's set this to 0.5. Okay? And that's good. Okay. Yep, that should be good. So it's going to change lives by damage, then it's going to wait 0.5 seconds, then repeat this, and then repeat, wait for 0.5 seconds each time. Okay, let's try this out. As you can see, the lives are decreasing at a rate of half a second. So half a second, -2 is decreased from the lives. Alright? So there's another problem over here. So when you're moving around here, touch this guy, and then it just goes over here, like it just stops over here. So what we want to do, like this game, what we want to do with the character is that we want, whenever the bad guy touches the character, whenever the bad guy touches the character, we want this red guy to change to a random position. Okay? So we don't want it to just stay over there and bug the purple character. We want it to move. So we want it to, whenever it touches Billy, we want it to move. So we want it to go to a random position. Alright? We want to go to a random position. Okay? So this basically means that whenever it touches this purple guy, it will move to another random position. Alright? Let's try this out. Okay, so it touches the guy. See? So, as you can see here, ooh, there's a problem. There's a problem. Okay, so whenever you touch it, it doesn't decrease lives. So you need to go directly towards the red block to decrease the life. So we don't want that. We want it, so whenever it touches it, we want it to wait for a bit and then go to a random position. So it has enough time to decrease to the 2 damage from Billy. Alright. So to wait. There we go. That should be good. So yeah, there. Ooh, it's a bit close. Still random position. Yeah. Randomizer. Alright, that's good. You can make this a bit faster so you don't need to see that red block lagging behind. There we go. Yeah, that's good. So the wait block has a very significant effect on every part of the code. So this wait block, you have to wait before you do something, because otherwise inside the code it will just run on forever and forever and go very fast paced. So we don't want that. So we wanted to do wait some seconds, and also it can register the code before, so then that way you won't be frustrated. Another way you can do this is this. I'll just take this out for now. I'll show you the other way. So the other way, you see over here, you can change lives by damage, yeah? So the other way you can do this is by using broadcasting, okay? So what you can do this is that you can broadcast a new message. So let's broadcast a new message called damage. Okay, or actually, yeah, damage. Yeah, okay. So we broadcast a new message called damage. Be careful not to put this outside the if statement or outside the forever loop. We want this to go forever when it touches the enemy. Alright? So, let's say, when I receive damage, now we can say, wait 0.00001 seconds, and then it goes to random position. This will work the same way, but it's more blocks of code to do. So I like this way, like the if statement, and inside the forever loop. But let's try it out this way, it should work the same. Okay, so as you can see over here, here is 0.5 seconds, here is 0.0001 seconds. So you want to make it consistent, so that means it won't be lagging behind, as you can see over here, look. It's lagging behind and then it moves to a new position, as you can see. Yeah? So we don't want to be lagging behind, we want to make this consistent, so we want to make it 0.001 second as well. Alright? There we go. That should work better. Yeah. Alright, so I'm not a very big fan of this way, but you can do it this way. But you'll have to make it consistent all the way. Okay? I just like it this way. I don't want to use this broadcasting method. But you can. I'm not stopping you to say. Since these are two different codes, two different types of code, yeah? They won't be running at the same pace. So they won't be running consistently together. So you need to make them run consistently together by changing the time it takes to do that. So let's see how this runs for now. Okay. So you see this character over here, goes around, touches it, yeah, decreases lives. So that's good. So what else do you want it to do it? So when it turns to 0, yeah, and the game's still going on. We don't want to do that. We don't want to. So first of all, we need to create a system where the code knows when to stop. So when the lives get to 0, the code will stop everything. So we need to do that. So we need to do another if statement over here. Okay? So the reason why I don't really use all these if statements over here in my previous videos is because this can get a bit crowded over here. So somehow you also want to use another when flag click and another forever loop somewhere else. Otherwise it's to get a bit crowded. But for now we don't have a lot of code, so I'm just going to use this. So let's do lives equals 0. Then we can say, now we can use a broadcast message because this is one piece of code. Now let's do a new message called game over. Okay, and then we would say stop stop other scripts in this sprite. Actually, it's stop all. So that means we don't need this broadcast game over then. Just say stop all. So that means it's gonna terminate the code, and then that way there's nothing running anymore. So that means this thing is not running anymore, this thing's not running anymore. It's gonna stop everything. Okay? So we want to do this over here. Let's go to 0. Let's make it go to 0. And let's see if it actually stops. There we go. You see? It stopped. All the code over here stopped. So it froze because it stopped. And because we put the stop all. Okay? You can make this a bit more fancier by putting a GUI, which I'm gonna do right now. So when the game stops, yeah, when the game ends, we want to have a big banner over there saying game over. So we want to do that. Okay, this makes it a bit more bigger. Just hold on while I'll make this. Alright, there we go. So this will show when the game stops. Okay, so we want it to not show now. Now, if we do stop all in this script, then it's going to stop everything. So like, even this is not going to show. Like, let me show you. Even this is not going to show. So we don't want that. We want this to say that this thing should show. Alright? I want it to say this thing should show. Right. So let's broadcast a new message. And let's call it game over now. Okay? So let's go to this. Let's say when I receive game over, it will show, and then let's let it wait for some bit. Let's let it wait for 1 second, and then here, and then we can put the stop all. This will still show though, because it shows and then it stops all, right? So this will still show. Let's just see how it goes. Actually, first we need to put a when flag clicked. Put this every single time, but this one we're gonna use hide. Okay. So let's save this. Okay. All right. So let's wait until it gets 0. Okay. There we go. Now you see over here, it goes to game over. Yeah. So it's waiting for 1 second, and then it stops everything. But as you can see, the lives over here have changed already. So we want to make it a bit more faster. So that means that this guy will not kill Billy even more. Okay? So let's rename this. Let's name it game over background. Okay? So let's save this. Let's run this. Alright. So run away from the character. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright, so now this is a bit more faster this way. So I think that's it for this video. Thanks for supporting me if you're watching my videos. And I'll try to make more each day of this week. Alright, so stay tuned and stay awesome. I'll see you guys later.